Well, hello. It's been a while since I've seen you guys. Been a little bit under the weather and I had a couple of things going on, but I am back. My salty dogs and doggettes. Welcome to this lovely, miserable day outside. You can see there's a little bit of blue sky coming through now, but other than that, we really have had some wind and rain. We had 4 seasons in one today. So to get the mood up and let us be a little bit more um, getting ready for the weekend, I decided let's do something nice and sweet for a change. We're going to be making a traditional South African milk tart of Melktert. So your basic ingredients for this is actually so cheap and easy to make, quick and easy to sort out, and it doesn't take very long to do it. So what we are going to need today is a large dish to put the tart in. Then we are going to use a pot for boiling the milk. We're going to need milk. It's going to be a liter of milk and then another 250 milliliters of milk to mix our dry ingredients, which is a quarter cup of white sugar. Then we are looking at a half a cup of corn starch or corn flour, and we are looking at roughly 5 or 6 tablespoons of custard powder. I use the Morrison's. You can use any custard powder, but this is my go-to that I use, also available at the South African shops. Normal standard milk. Do not use the regular low-fat milk. It doesn't work. 15 grams of butter, and then you can either use the tennis biscuits you get at the South African shop, but I just found they're quite expensive, so I just use the Griffiths biscuits that you've got over here. Here's 1 pack of those. So I bought a 2-pack because it was a special, but it's just one of these packs. You're going to use a little bit of salt, and that is your basic ingredients, and then your cinnamon for right at the end to sprinkle over the milk tart. So let's start by getting the biscuits just roughly crushed and placed into the base of this, and then we will go and do the warm mixture, the custard milk tart mixture to put on top of this. Okay, so what we're basically going to do is, this is a quick and easy way to do it, is I just use my rolling pin and I just smash up the biscuits, or you can put it in a food processor, but I like it a little bit more on the coarser side, so I'm just going to smash it in the packet. Please excuse the noise. So you can get rid of all the frustration of the kids and the husband or the wife. There we go. That's a nice little rough breakup. You do there, and then we just open the packet into the dish, and we just spread it out. If there's a couple of biscuits that hasn't broken, just break them up a little bit more, just to form a nice rough base for this. You can do this a lot finer if you put it in the food processor, and you can add butter to it to bind it, but I'm just going to do a quick and easy cheat one here, and I just use the back of my rolling pin, and we are just breaking it up a little bit more because the bits and bobs are just a little bit too big. So there we go, and now we are going to just spread it out so it's just a nice little covering at the base there, and we are going to get the rest of the milk tart done. Okay, so as per usual, I've made a lovely mess. So here we've got our 250 mils of cold milk. So we are just going to add the custard powder. Messy child, messy child. That's why I've always put a little thing underneath it. It's easier for cleanup. Our corn flour. And then I am just going to take my good old trusty spoon, and we are just going to mix this together. So we're going to mix it up so that there are no lumps in there. The big trick is with this part, no lumps whatsoever to be in there. You can use a little food processor just to whir it up if you want to, but it's not necessary. You just use a spoon, a fork, whatever the case might be. And you see how easily it actually dissolves. And I just use a clear dish so I can just see if there are any lumps left in it. And then we have got our, yes, mister, then we've got our co-chef editor here on the side, looking very intently what I am busy doing. And yes, we are not doing your snacks, my boy. Okay, so all mixed up. Okay, so we've got our pot on the stove. We get the heat on. Then we take our butter. We put our butter in the base. So it starts melting. And why I also make this in advance is so I can just sit so that if there's any little lumps in it, it can actually just dissolve. But remember, this is very crucial, not to have any lumps in here. See our butter is starting to melt. Okay, the butter is starting to melt, so just stir it around. And then we are going to add our milk to this. Easy as that. I use this slatted spatula. I just found the slatted spatula just works very well when we get into the stirring, because as you can see, the mixture will actually just run through it when we are doing our 8 shapes for it. So let the butter just melt. And while the butter is melting, we are going to add our sugar. If you want it sweeter, you can add more sugar to it, but you don't want it too sweet. You see the butter's melting in the water. And then we are just going to add a little pinch of salt, about a quarter teaspoon of salt to this, and we are just melting it through. We do not want the milk to boil whatsoever. You just want the milk to start warming up and simmering up. As you can see, and as you're stirring it, you can just feel the sugar dissolving in the bottom. Just give me a little bit of a taste just to see if there's enough sugar in it. As I said, you can up the sugar quantity if you want it sweeter, but this is the ideal amount for the Melktert. So that again is a quarter cup of white sugar. Don't use brown sugar or don't use raw sugar, because otherwise your Melktert starts getting discolored. There are other ways you can make a crust for the Melktert. If you've got time to actually bake your own crust, but we are just doing a quick one to show you how quick and easy it is to make a lovely, lovely, lovely dessert. The only thing that takes a little bit of time with this is that it needs to cool down, and that is also where a crucial part comes in, is once you have poured the mixture, try not to move your mixture too much around or shake it around, just let it set. Once it's down to room temperature, you can put it in the fridge and you have a great deal. So depending on how quickly it cools down, within 2 or 3 hours, you can have a lovely, lovely dish. So make this in the morning when you get up to go to church, or if you're going out to friends, do it quickly in the morning. Just put it aside and then put some cling wrap over it, and then you have got a lovely dessert to go with you. Okay, so let's just keep. The milk will take about 5 minutes to warm up. You can see it's starting to steam. And just to show you, we have got my local resident ducks that are very keen and very eager to eat and help me make food. You can see how tame they are, and it's normally 3 of them that come here and come and visit us. Okay, while I was looking at the ducks, the milk is starting to, just starting to froth. Now we're going to turn the heat down completely. You see, it's just starting to boil. Turn the heat down immediately. Immediately turn your heat down. You don't want it to boil over. You don't want to be too hot. So you turn the heat down immediately and you just stir it. Now, the next crucial part is when we are adding this mixture. Do not add it all at once. We're going to do it slowly, bit by bit, into the milk. I'm actually going to move it off the heat a little bit and then put it back on. Just slowly add it and keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. If you add it all in one go, then it becomes a clumpy mess. I will tell you a trick how to get rid of that afterwards, but we don't want that to happen. Vigorously stir to break up the clumps, break up the clumps, break up the clumps. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I just don't want to give you too much of a shaking around here, so let me just quickly just keep on stirring this. Okay, my mixture is a little bit thick, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to add about another 50 to 100 mils of milk to it, and just mix it through. I'll see you after the mixing, otherwise we're going to be bouncing around. Okay, I've stopped bouncing around now. So there we can see the mixture is lovely and smooth now. A little bit of extra milk just added to it. And that's again where you just need to check it on the day, because also with humidity and stuff, it can affect the thickness of it. So if you want to, you can just reduce the amount of custard by a tablespoon or so, or just add more milk to the mixture. Like I've done, you can see how the mixture is just so now we just leave it on the heat just so that the custard and the corn flour can cook through for about 3 to 5 minutes, but continuously just giving it a little bit of a stir. And if there's any little clumps left over, that will just break down quite easily. in the cooking process. So there we can see it's literally just on the very low heat, just starting to bubble over from the bottom. You can see the steam coming off. You do not want it on a very high heat, otherwise it burns. You can use a stainless steel pot if you want, but then you just got to really be very careful with burning at the bottom and just constantly just stir. Okay, so if you've added the mixture and you've done a boo-boo and you have overpoured too quickly and there's lots of big lumps in it, all you do is take one of those little stick food processors and you stick it in there for about 30 or 40 seconds just to break up the clumps. So if that happens, your mixture is not spoiled. Literally just take that little food stick processor in there in the hot mix, just zhuzh it up for about 30 to 40 seconds until the lumps are out, and then it is ready. No longer than that. Otherwise, your milk and your cornstarch and your butter starts breaking down, and then it won't set correctly. Oh, there we go. You can hear it boiling at the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of a test here. Sweetness is perfect. It is ready. The minute you taste it and it doesn't taste like raw flour, that is when it is cooked. So I just normally just take a little bit, pop it on my finger, and I just taste it. Yeah, it doesn't taste like baby powder or dry corn flour in your mouth. Now, while this is still hot, you have to pour it all in one go. So I am just going to get my dish, which is just sitting on the side here, ready so we can do the pour. So there we go. I've got my dish biscuits are just nicely covering them, and now we are just going to do a pour in one go. While it's hot, spread it out immediately. You've got to get it smoothed out immediately. So the minute it starts cooling, it starts its setting process, and then you will get cracks in it if you are not careful. So let me just get this all smoothed over. Get it right into the corners over there. Right into the corners. There we go. Now, leave it. Don't do anything to it. What I normally just do is I just give it a nice little tap, just for some air bubbles. If there's any air bubbles in it, and it just helps to set it. And now you just set it aside and you let it start cooling down. So that is how quick and easy it is to make a quick milk tart. And now this is the fun part. This is now the part that you can give to the kids on a wooden spoon or whatever, and you can get them to clean the pot out. They will absolutely love licking the pot out. That always used to be my favorite if my mom made it or my grand made it. But my mom made the best milk tart, so this is my late mom's recipe. And I have to get my fingers in there because that's what the kids do, and you just enjoy it. Lick it off the stick, lick it off the finger. I know it's not very classy, but that's the way you do it. Okay, the Melktert, Lekkertert, Oudtert, Nieuwe Tert, New Tart. I'm being silly again. The Melktert is been sitting for about half an hour now, so it's not too hot anymore. So all we're going to do now is just take our cinnamon, and we're just going to sprinkle a good proportion of cinnamon dusting over the top. Just cover all the edges with the cinnamon. If you want to be fancy, you can get little patterns to put on it. But we're just doing it the old-fashioned, traditional way. So good sprinkling of cinnamon on top of it. And there we go. Oh, that cinnamon is just smelling so divine on it. And then what you just do is you can just clean off the edges with a cloth. And this can literally go in a container like this to your friends, to your whānau, to granny, to grandpa, or for just a lazy little Sunday afternoon snack. So once it's cooled down, just depending on how quickly it cools down, once it's not too hot on the side, I normally just pop it in the fridge because it cools it down a lot quicker. And then for storage afterwards, just keep it covered with some cling wrap and keep it in the fridge. It will last about 3 or 4 days. That's if there's any left over. Normally in our house it doesn't last 2 days, and that's just 2 of us. So there we go, my friends. Let me just go and get rid of the ducks that have decided to come and make themselves at home again. And when it's all cooled down, we'll slice it and we'll get a taste test. When you're putting it aside to cool, don't cover it with anything that will trap the steam inside. You can do like a little net or a little foam net or something over it, or just a normal dry cloth, but the steam and the heat needs to escape. And also the reason why I put the cinnamon on about half an hour afterwards is because the cinnamon and the heat will just draw into the food, into the milk tart, and make it a little bit more tarty, my salty dogs. So let's cool it down. We'll see you when we're ready to slice it. And while I have a quick little natter with you here, there is a different way while we're looking at the rainbow in the distance. There is a way to also do this milk tart done with egg yolks, but this is the quick and easy way. This is as I said, my late mom's recipe. And she made this and she won bizarre prizes with it at the local church fundraisers. She used to make this for members of parliament when they used to come and visit my dad. She used to make them for the vice president, etc., etc. So this is a recipe that has stood the test of time and is absolutely delicious. And then you can see my little visitors that have come to say hello, and they are here every single day. And then in the distance there we have got my wingless one. He's got a damaged wing, but yeah, so that is the life on the water. As you can hear, there's a little bit of a wind in the background, so I hope it's not going to be too disturbing. And just as fast as the rainbow came, it faded. Okay, the milk tart has now been standing for about an hour or so. It was in our school area. I refrigerated it for about half an hour, and we are ready. And I've already done the initial slices. Look how yummy. try this at home, make it yourself, and let us know what you think.